Hey, y'all, welcome back to the Stuff About Money podcast. I am your co host, Eric Garcia, and this is a special mini series that I am recording with a guest co host, a friend of mine, Billy Wagner. Don't worry, y'all, Xavier is still with me. Billy owns an insurance agency down in Florida, and we wanted to explore this idea that insurance professionals are givers. My fifth pillar to building financial security is give to others. And Billy and I wanted to have engaging conversations with a diverse group of insurance professionals to hear their journeys of how they're creating legacies for their families and leaving a meaningful impact in their communities through generous acts. And we do all of that in under 12 minutes with each of our guests. So listen in and prepare to be inspired.
We are so excited to have Erin Richardson with us. She has such a giving heart, and she's doing some amazing things, and we're excited to hear from her. Erin, if you could start out by sharing just kind of what was your inspiration or motivation for the giving heart that you have.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you, um, selecting me to be a part of this. My motivations have changed over the years, obviously, as, as well as having access to different resources. But doing good things and doing good for others feels good and it gives us purpose. It has always been a big part of both my husband's life and my life. We now are blessed that we have a platform that allows us to give back in many ways, and we're super grateful for that. Our favorite ways to give to others is to surprise and delight. We try to think outside the box and try to find ways to do something unexpected that will have an impact for people. We have a saying in our office to listen intently and respond creatively. So we not only make it a part of our personal lives to be philanthropical, but we encourage our team in our office to do the same. So we give them access to our resources and we allow them to make an impact in someone else's life as they see fit and when they find an opportunity.
Can you share that again, Erin?
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, you need to say that again because I
Listen
found write it down.
intently.
And respond creatively.
Yes. Because it's like the things that are unexpected, the creative. That's what I love about you and Mike is that you guys are so creative and unique that you do that. You live into that purpose already. So I love you sharing that. That's really cool.
So could you just kind of like tease out a little bit more for us? Like you talk about like just it being purposeful. Like what is it about it that's purposeful for you, if you don't mind sharing?
Sure. So, some of the things we talk about in our office specifically is we encourage our team when you're having a conversation with somebody and you hear that they're having a hard day, or maybe they just had an animal that passed or a family member that passed, or maybe it's something exciting. They're excited because something's going on in one of their kids' lives or something. So just then thinking of what's a fun way that we or a thoughtful way that we could respond to that. We give them the autonomy within the office to say, okay, you have access to X amount from us per month, that if you come across situations with clients, it's you have the freedom to respond and do it in a way that you think is fitting.
So financially, they have access like a small budget to meet the need of somebody.
Yep.
I love that. Love that. Um, One of the things that strikes me about what you shared is and goes to that quote that listening intently that you're not almost you're encouraging a spirit of listening, of almost elevating people's needs above your own, not necessarily reducing your need, but you're just elevating the needs of others. Is that kind of the culture of the office?
Yeah, and you're deepening the relationship. So as you're having conversations with people, sometimes they're going to mention something that may not even think twice about, but we're grooming our people and we do ourselves to listen to the details that we're being told that we wouldn't otherwise know. And if it's something that's meaningful to the person on the other end, we want to acknowledge that, and we'll do it in a way that, like I mentioned, when we follow up to bring it up again, whether it's with a note or whether it's with something else, it kind of catches them off guard and surprises them in a good way.
Yeah, I had a business coach once, and he would say, "Do unexpected things at unexpected times for people."
Right.
That's how you can really build deep, some deep relationships. What are Aaron, what are some, so you shared about just some stuff that you do in your office and the culture in your office. Are there maybe some specific causes that are more meaningful to you that you and Mike support?
We do. So we have only a few charities that we're really heavily tied to. We support many things within our local community for family and friends and things like that. But when it comes to pledging our time and our money, we only have a few that we support consistently, and that's very purposeful. So, for example, the past several years, I've supported the mission of the Pan Mass Challenge. That is an annual 2-day bike ride. It starts in the central Massachusetts, and it goes to the tip of Cape Cod, and it's a total of just over 200 miles. The Pan Mass Riders raise money for Dana-Farber, which is the cancer center here in Massachusetts. Personally, I've been able to raise over $46,000 in the last 4 years for them. But collectively, the Pan Mass Challenge is the largest athletic fundraising event in the country. And it's raised more than $72 million towards cancer research and treatment. So it's right in our backyard. So it's really meaningful to me. We have all come face to face with some sort of cancer in some way. Several of our close family members have battled it. My motivation to raise money and support this annual event tends to change, unfortunately. For example, last year, my father-in-law had just passed from bile duct cancer. So he was really like my focus and my motivation last year. And it really does just make you put your head down and grind and think about the things that are important, while, remembering those people and supporting, a great cause. Our office hosts a charity bowling tournament every year for our referral partners and other local businesses. So we choose a charity that's important to us. It's called Tommy's Place. It's a vacation home for kids that are battling cancer. They have a super good mission over there, and it's so admirable. And he just opened another location with the support of the community and fundraising. So we support them. And then last summer, Mike had ran 55 miles from their Falmouth location, which is on Cape Cod, to our office in Hanover to just raise awareness of what Tommy's Place is, of their mission. And he was able to raise over $18,000 just from his run that he did in less than 12 hours or whatever it was. So that one's super, super important. And then the other one I would say that it's a pillar of ours that we support consistently is School on Wheels in Massachusetts. We coordinate a backpack drive in our community every year to collect new backpacks and school supplies for homeless children that are in our neighborhoods. And we've collected over 1,500 brand new backpacks to help with their mission and just provide confidence to these children. The average age of a homeless person in Massachusetts is 8 years old. They're in shelters. They're moving through the foster care system. So for us, being able to provide resources and brand new supplies to them as they're moved into different school systems and moved around, it just gives them confidence and it starts them off on the right foot.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, you guys are so intentional, which is really, really cool. And you also you haven't even shared like a lot of the stuff you do with like the business community and supporting like the local businesses, and you tie it in to giving, which is so unique. And I think like other people need to hear that story. And this is kind of the main reason why we're doing this, is to get that out, right? It's like no one wants to share that kind of stuff because it seems self-serving, but it also like it needs to be shared because it's going to inspire other people, and there's, a lot of good that can come from it. I wanted to ask you, is there anything that was unexpected that you experienced as a result of, the giving that you guys are doing?
I think there's been a lot of unexpected responses because, as you stated, we're not doing it for the notoriety of what we're out there doing. We're doing it because we want to do it. And we feel good about doing it. And it's something that is really meaningful. But we just really like to know that we interrupted someone's day with a nice gesture. But when people see that that's what you're about, it does build a level of trust around you, around your business. People view you differently. We attribute our efforts in giving to a lot of the recognition we've received locally, being featured in magazines, being on news channels, and then being guests on podcasts like this one. So thank you very much. But we've been recognized as a champion for our kids through the School on Wheels program and just different things. We've attracted a lot of good, like-minded people as a result. And I think that's the biggest thing is when other people see your mission and they connect with it, they support what you are supporting because they're able to connect emotionally with it.
Yeah, I love again, I'm going to say it again for a second time because I think it's so important, is you seem to just be cognizant of the needs of others around you. And I think that's so important, is to be able to stop long enough to consider what does my community need? What does this person right now, and I love what you do with your staff, what does this person right now that you're interacting with need?
Yeah.
You can meet that need, and there's only one way to do it, is to listen, and to elevate them above you. So that's wonderful. Is there any advice that you would give to, so this is, a bunch of insurance professionals are going to be hearing this, and then also my other listeners on my podcast, Stuff About Money, are going to be listening to this. And I think generally I have found, okay, not everyone is very involved in giving, or they're not all writing big checks, but I have found that giving is a universal value for the most part across culture, demographic, but sometimes not everyone has engaged that kind of inner sense of, yeah, there's something cool about that. What advice would you give to someone who's unsure kind of how to start?
So, I mean, the three of us here and most of the people that are going to hear this, like I said before, we all now have a platform that allows us to do this, and it allows us to reach a wider audience. It allows us to involve our communities because we are, in the positions that we're in. So to get the support, to do the things that we're passionate about, my advice would be first to make sure that it's genuine. Choose something that you're really passionate about. One thing that we do see people do is hitch their wagon to anything and everything. And it seems like they're always supporting something new. And while that's very nice, it's really hard to know sometimes what they stand for. Educate people on why a certain cause is important to you. And again, that's going to help them connect to you, and it will make them want to support you while you're raising awareness and fundraising.
I love it. Genuine, be authentic. People can read BS, right?
Right.
They can see right through it.
Yes, they can.
Erin, thank you for taking time. I mean, golly, I have a lot. I feel like 15 minutes is not nearly enough to capture all that y'all are doing. So
well, I can come back in an hour. I mean, on the hour. You tell me.
Maybe we'll have you on the Stuff About Money podcast, and we can hear more about it. But you were someone who we had heard about, or I think Billy might have been, knows about all that y'all are involved in. So we had to have you as part of this series. So thank you, and thank Mike for all his work. 55 miles, golly, so my knees just hurt thinking about that. I have a friend who walked 440. He does it every year, 444 miles. It's the Natchez Trace to raise awareness for autism.
Amazing.
Every year, 444 miles. He gives up an entire month. So, Erin,
amazing.
thanks again for joining us.
Yeah, and I would just say one last thing to end is, the motivation comes from a bunch of different ways, but you guys have purpose in your organization, and you and Mike together have purpose because you've thought about things. You've figured out what's genuine to you guys, and what you said is you are attracting those same people that are like you in your team and in your clients and your community. So I just, hats off to you, and thank you for sharing your story. It was awesome.
Thank you, Billy.
All right.
Thanks again. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
See ya.